Well, and also hope that you are having a good day so far. So, today we'll be doing our grade 6 English lesson on claims and evidence. And before we start with our lesson on claims and evidence, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts, grade 6, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of claims and evidence. Right? So our chapter is claims and evidence. Our subject is English language arts, grade 6, grade 6. And the lessons that we are focusing on today under the chapter of claims and evidence is to distinguish facts from opinions and to choose evidence to support claim. So we said that it is to our its claim is an evidence. So when it comes to claims and evidence, right, a fact is something that can be proved by research or observation. Remember, we have facts and we have opinions, right? Um, if you even speak to someone, I'm sure you'd want to know facts about something and not just your opinion. Opinion is mainly what someone says and what they claim that they know, because my opinion mainly is basically what I think about something, right? But facts is something that can be proved by either research, can be proved by observation, right? Like it can be proven by if someone had said something and then, that story can be backed up, right? So that is a fact. And if we look at an example, right, of a fact, it says that a fact is something that can be proved by research or observation. For example, Napoleon Bonaparte was shorter than King Louis the, is it the 16th? Yeah. So which means that this statement above is a fact, right? So this statement above is a fact. This statement can be proved by researching the height of each man and comparing them, right? So if you can research something, speak to someone about something, and they can agree to it, right, then that is a fact. If people are not agreeing to it, like there's hesitation and like the one person says no and the other, then that is not an effect, right? It is opinions that people have been given to you, right? Because there's basically no person or story to back it up. All right, so we can say that a fact is something that can be proved by research. So then we have an opinion, right? And remember, I just made mention also about an opinion. An opinion is basically my belief of something, right? This is what I think it is. This is my view on it, right? Because I believe that, right? That is an opinion. So, an opinion is something that a person believes, thinks, or feels, right? An opinion cannot be proven because it's an opinion, right? We can just go on hearsay, but an opinion, it cannot be proved, right? So opinions, we cannot go on the internet, we cannot research it, right? There's no observation to show basically how the progress has been, or observation of what the behavioral is, for example. All right. So an opinion is something that a person believes, right? Thinks or even feels. That is why usually people with opinions, right? When they give opinions, they're like, I think and I feel, I believe, right? These are things that they usually say, right? But deep down, they don't, right? It is mainly just your opinion, it's your view about something. So we have facts and then we have opinions. And once again, facts is something that can be proven, right? Either through research or it can be proven through observations, right? And remember, when it comes to facts, then people are going to expect some form of evidence. Or you even have to bring someone to, back up your claim of, your fact that you're actually saying. And then we have an opinion, and your opinion is something that you as a person believe in, right? It is your beliefs, it is your feelings, right? And it's also things that you think is whatever, right? It's happening. And an opinion cannot be proven. I cannot call someone and be like, yeah, but you told me that. No, right? These are things that people can deny because there's no research, there's no observation, nothing, right? All right. So now also when it comes to claiming, right? So we have the difference between facts and we have the difference between opinions, right? This is now with claims and evidence. So, a claim is a statement of a writer's argument, position, or a writer's opinion, right? So, when you make a claim in a piece of writing, you should also give evidence or details to support your claim. All right. So, a claim, right, we said is a statement of a writer's argument or position or even the opinion. And when you make a claim in a piece of writing, you should also give evidence or details to support your claim. Strong evidence to show why your claim is valid or true, right? So, for example, let's go to one claim. It says Reinhold Messner is the greatest mountaineer of all time. So, Reinhold Messner is the greatest mountaineer of all times, right? So that is the claim. And remember, a claim is also just something that someone says, right? And that is why we have facts and we have opinions. So if you are claiming something, then it means that you need to have evidence to back up your claim. So now, with Reinhold Messner is the greatest mountain of all time, we have evidence, and the evidence says Reinhold Messner was the first person to successfully climb all the 14, all 14 of the world's 8,000 meter peaks. All right. So we say that when the claim is that he has been the greatest mountain of all time, but then the evidence also shows that he was the first person to successfully climb all 14 mountains all over the world. Right? Another evidence will say like does not provide strong support if it contradicts or oppose your claim. So Reinhold Messner does not hold the record for the most successful summits of Mount Everest, which currently stands at 21. So we can say that Reinhold Messner does not hold the record for the most successful summits of the Mount Everest, which currently stands at 21, which means that this is then it's this evidence, but the evidence is not strong enough, right? Because there's no basically concrete evidence that shows that um, he is a world record holder or anything, right? It just says that he climbed um 14 mountains, let's say all over the world. All right. So we can say that evidence does not provide strong support if it's off topic or it doesn't address why your claim is true. Let's say, for example, Reynolds, right? Because we see that he basically climbed about 14 mountains all over the world, right? So as much as we say he's a record holder, but there's basically nothing on paper, right? So Reinhold Messner was born in northern Italy and spent much of his early part of his life climbing the peaks of the Alpha. All right. So we are doing our tutorial lesson on aplusstudents.ca, right? And once again, we are doing evidence and claims, right? And when we do evidence and claims, then we're specifically talking about facts and we're talking about opinions. And remember, in order for your claim to be quite strong, then it means that your facts need to be backed up with documents, right? The more evidence you have, right, the greater, you know, they say the greater the chance of either people believing you or the greater the chance of you being helped, for example, right? All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to do our tutorial lesson there. All right, so we're going back into distinguishing facts from opinions, right? So we see that a fact is something that can be proved by either research or it can be proved by observation, right? So observing something, observing someone for some time, right? That is basically facts, right? So now you jot down your observation, you make notes and whatever, and then that is a form of, evidence, right? Or fact is something that can be proven by research. Research can either be on the internet, research can even be based on conversations with other people, right? That is also, um, let's say, research or proven by, or facts that is proven by research, right? Then we have an opinion, and an opinion is something that a person believes, thinks, or feels. All right, then we have an opinion, right? And an opinion is something that a person believes, thinks, or even feels. An opinion cannot be proven, right? Because remember, if I give my opinion on something, then I'll say things like, I think that, you understand? So once you already said, I think that, that means that, this is now my opinion on something, not facts, right? All right. And then we have facts and opinions, right? And remember, when it comes to both facts as well as opinions, right, then you just need to constantly have your evidence, right? The stronger the evidence, the stronger the claim on whatever that you are claiming or whatever you want to know, right? All right. So now let's go to our test, right? It says, which sentence states a fact? Which sentence states a fact? It says, of all those who fought to put an end to slavery in America, the writer and the writer and abolitionist Frederick Douglass had the greatest influence. All right. So we need to basically start with the fact of all those who fought to put an end to slavery in America, the writer and abolitionist Frederick Douglass had the greatest influence. Or do we say during the Civil War, Frederick Douglass spoke to President Abraham Lincoln about the treatment of African American soldiers? All right. So if we were to state the facts, right? Remember, we are stating a fact. All right. So if we were to choose the correct one, we can maybe choose. Let's choose the second one. Yeah, so the second one is correct, right? Because at least we know that, that the fact is that he spoke to the president, right? Which sentence states a fact? Graduates of the Parisian cooking school Le Cordon Bleu make the most delicious meals. Or we can say Diane Lucas was the first woman to graduate from the cooking school. All right, so we see that graduates of the Persian cooking school, Le Cordon Bleu, make the most delicious meals. And Diane Lucas was the first woman to graduate from the cooking school, Le Cordon Bleu. All right, let's go with the second option. All right, so that is correct. Because remember, we at least can go back and ask them, like, okay, now give us some form of information of the people that graduated, right? And we will be able to see who the first graduates are, or at least who the graduates were, right? But we don't know if they cook the most delicious meals, right? Because it means that we're going to have to do the whole comparisons. And yeah, that is what they mean when they say evidence, right? It costs over $200,000 per hour Air Force to fly Air Force One, the official airplane of the President of the United States. Or do we say the sitting US President's airplane, Air Force One, is the most important symbol of the American government? All right, so we can say that it costs over 200 sorry, $1,000 per hour to fly Air Force One, or the sitting US President's airplane Air Force One is the most important symbol of the American government. Let's go with that one. Ah, all right. So they basically say that the Air Force One is not really the most important symbol of the American government, right? But the amount and how much it costs to fly, that is quite a fact, right? All right. So based on a novel by Gregory Maguire, is it Maguire? The musical Wicked is the most entertaining show you will find on or off Broadway. Wicked starred Christian Chenoweth and Idina Menzel when it opened on Broadway on October 30, 2003. Which one do we think is the fact in this sentence or in this answers? Is it based on the novel, or Wicked starred Christian and Aldina Menzel when it opened on Broadway on October 30th, 2003? All right, so if we were to choose the correct one, let's maybe try the second one because here they're specifically giving dates, right? By saying that we could start Christian and Eldina or Idina when it opened in Broadway in October in 2003. All right. So basically, it's a second option. The reason why it's a second option, right? Especially when people start giving dates, right? Remember, dates are things that you can be like, okay, let me go back and let me go and check and review that date to see if it is the truth. So a date was given, right, to show that they had sung together or they shared the same stage on the 30th of October. So it was the second option. Yes, so well done. Cheryl Swoops was the best basketball player at the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. Or we can say Sharon Swoops was named to the Basketball Wall of Fame class of 2016 along with Shaquille O'Neal. So we need to choose the fact or state the facts within between the two of them, between the two answers. All right, let's choose maybe the second one, right? Because it says that Cheryl Swoops was named to the Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2016 along with Shaquille O'Neal. All right, let us go with the second option. All right, so the second option is correct. So now we need to also choose evidence to support a claim. So we have facts and we have opinions. Facts are things that you can observe, right, with evidence and observations, right? That is a fact. And then we have an opinion. It is things that you believe, you think, and also things that you feel, right? So now when it comes to choosing evidence to support a claim is a statement of a writer's argument, a position, or opinion. When you make a claim in a piece of writing, you should also give evidence, right, or details to support that claim. Strong evidence should show why your claim is valid or why your claim is true. All right. So if we look at the first claim, right, we see that the claim Reinhold Messner is the greatest mountaineer of all time, right? And the evidence shows that he was the first person to successfully climb all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter peaks. And then another evidence shows evidence does not provide strong evidence if the contradicts or opposes your claim, right? Which means that as much as he climbed all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter peaks, he does not hold the record for the most successful summits of Mount Everest, right? Because remember, Mount Everest was one of the mountains that if people climb that mountain, you are literally almost like classified as some legend, right? So as much as he climbed 14 of the world's 8,000 mountain meter peaks, right? He hasn't he doesn't hold the record for the most successful summits of Mount Everest, which currently stands at 21, right? And also, when it comes to evidence, right, evidence does not provide strong support. So, in this case, the evidence does not support or show strong support if it is off topic or it doesn't address why your claim is true, right? So, for example, with Reinhold, right, or Reinhold, Reinhold Messner was born in northern Italy and he spent much of his early part of his life climbing the peaks of the Alps, right? So, which means that with claims, right, you need to have it in writing, right? With claims, you need to have it in writing. And when you make a claim, right, there needs to be strong evidence. You need to give all of the details to support that evidence, right? And also to support your claim, right? Only strong evidence should show why your claim is valid or true, and that is why certain claims are being kicked out, either because of a lack of details or because the evidence is not strong enough. All right, let's go to choosing evidence to support a claim, the test. We need to read the claim below. Schools should focus on teaching practical math skills instead of abstract concepts. Select the piece of evidence that best supports this claim. Is it the first option? The branch of maths known as algebra uses letters to stand for unknown values. And or is it the research suggests that many adults lack real world math skills such as the ability to read an odometer? All right, so if we choose the correct claim, right, when it comes to the maths, then it says that the branch of maths known as algebra uses letters to stand for unknown values, or research suggests that many adults lack real world math skills. So we need to choose one of the options that says that schools should focus on teaching practical maths instead of abstract concepts. All right, let's maybe choose the second one, right? Because the second one shows that adults, right, are basically lacking proper maths skills, right? Which means that in school, learners are currently not getting the adequate math skills as needed, right? So it's like we are just getting theory based on maths other than proper practical math skills. So, the practice of drilling underwater oil wells, known as offshore drilling, should be banned. Select the piece of evidence that best supports this claim. Offshore drilling makes more oil available to countries that depends on it for fuel and energy. Or is it that oil spills from offshore wells cost billions of dollars to clean up and cause immeasurable harm to the ocean? We need to choose the correct claim below as to why people should not be drilling offshore anymore. All right. So if we choose the correct option, let's go with the second option, because the first one says, right, that yes, it gets you have more oil available to other countries, right, that is dependent on fuel and energy. However, billions of dollars are used to clean up oil that is caused by immeasurable harm to the ocean, right? So the second option is correct. Let's do one more. We need to read the claim below, right? The claim says that the United States should abolish the electoral college in which a group of electors, not voters, ultimately selects the president. Select the piece of evidence that best supports this claim. All right, so we said the United States should abolish the Electoral College, in which a group of electors, not voters, ultimately selects the president. So we need to choose one of the options. Is it the first one that says the the electoral college is undemocratic because the candidates who get the majority of the popular vote may still lose the election, or the Electoral College ensures that states with small or rural populations still have a say in the outcome of the presidential election. All right. And if we choose the correct one, we can say that, like with this one, there's actually a win win situation, because the first one says that the downfall is that even though there's one party who gets the majority of the votes, they may still lose the election. And then the other hand, right, it is more of a advantage to smaller rural populations, right? Whereas they also get, let's say, or they also get to have a say in the outcome of the presidential election. So let us choose, let's choose the first one. All right, so the first one is correct. All right, so this is that's the end of our lesson on claims and evidence, right? We said claims and evidence are things that you need to have. If you want to basically make a claim, you need to really have strong evidence in order for your claim to be heard, to be known, right? You need to have proper details or strong details about it, about the specific claim that you have also, right? Then we made mention of facts as well as opinions. And we said facts are things that you can observe, they're things that basically has evidence that you can research. And then your opinion is something that you think, you feel, or basically that is just how, it's your opinion about it. It's how you feel about something, right? It's what you think about something. But it cannot be observed, you cannot research that specific thing. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on claims and evidence. Thank you very much for joining the class, and I really hope you're going to have a good day further. Goodbye.